welcome to another video. If you're new around here, my name is TheDiamond Bullet. The first video I'm recording with my brand new microphone, and the first video I'm recording with my brand new sponsorship. Yeah, I have a sponsorship with a company called Dubby Energy. They are an energy supplement company, kind of like gamer subs and that kind of thing. They have a handcrafted formula, which is crafted from the waste of coffee creation instead of all that bad stuff that other brands use. I haven't tried it yet myself, no, but I will be quite soon. In the link in the description below, you can get 10% off using code TDB2024 if you use that at checkout, and that's 10% off everything that you order, not just one specific item, not anything in particular, just 10% off your whole order. So visit dubby.gg to check out their flavors, and either use the link in the description or enter TDB2024 as a coupon code at checkout for 10% off. Alrighty then. So we've seen the cars on track, we've seen the cars in studios. But what do I think to the Formula 1 2024 liveries? Now, I see the difference. Sorry. So we have 11 cars down here. And we have the blue version and the pink version of the Racing Point. Alpine, that's what they're called now. So, I've watched a video, seen them all on track, seen how they look, and it's time for my honest opinion. So we're going to start off with Haas. Haas have been known for quite out there liveries with their black and gold ones back in the early 2010s. Now I think they've pulled back a bit and gone very, very simple. There's like 3, maybe 4 colors on the car: red, white and black. Very simple, but I'm not gonna say it's worthy of getting the bin. I think the Haas is quite average. I do like simple liveries, and I think the way they've used the carbon as part of their livery matches the brand. Now we're moving on to Alpine. Alpine had an interesting take to their liveries. They've implemented the carbon fiber into the livery design. The livery was designed by their road car team instead of the Formula 1 team, and I don't think they've made the implementation of the colours versus the carbon fiber the best that they could. Now, I'm not going to say that it's the worst looking car out there, but I think the blue version is average. Because if you think about the stipulations and the way the teams have had to work around the weight, then it's okay. But I think the pink version is bad, because the only difference is a little bit on the engine cover and a little bit on the nose. So I think it's pretty much just a copy paste with a little bit more pink. Moving on to McLaren. McLaren, another team that has a lot of visible carbon fiber, but their implementation is quite good. I'm just going to put it in good, and enough said. I do prefer the chrome livery they ran as a special livery last year with the chrome bit on the chrome, going back to the McLaren heritage from the early 2010s. But yeah, I'm putting it in good. So from now on, we're foreign. Everything looks very mid. It's all just black with a little bit of colour. And then we see the steak slash kick Sauber, which is a lot of black with a lot of green. Now, I'm going to put this in the bad sector. I'm going to put the Alpine behind it. It's at the top end of the bad sector. I don't like it. I think the green on the black, it'll be easy to spot, but I also think that it's too vibrant on something that's not vibrant enough. And it just confuses my brain. Moving on to the Mercedes. Now, Mercedes, they've done quite a few black liveries in recent years. I'm going to put this one in... I'm going to put it in average between the Alpine and the Haas. For the simple reason, the blue line makes sense why they have it, but it's so prominent towards the front of the car and nowhere else that the back just looks black. And I don't like the way their nose looks with all that blue or green or whatever they want to call it. Petronas green, I think they call it. I think they could implement the Petronas colours into the livery a little better. Williams. The Williams is okay, actually. The Williams has quite a lot of colours on it, as well as the black. I like the mixture of a nice dark blue with the black. It actually looks good, with the colours not being too vibrant, not too bright, not too dark. It's just right. I think the Williams is slightly better than the McLaren, hence its location. Now the last four. We have the Red Bull. Now, the Red Bull, they have one design. They've aced the design. It's going in banger every time. I do like the Red Bull liveries. They do look really good when they put their mind to something. Now we've got the Visa Cash App RB or V-Carb. Again, that's going in banger, but I'm going to put that ahead of the Red Bull because I really liked the Toro Rosso liveries that they had back in the early 2010s. And the V-Carb livery looks amazing. The blue, the silver. It's a very good covered paint scheme. And not a lot of important bits covered in carbon fiber. Another team that did good, Aston Martin. Aston Martin are a great team, great color combos. They do have a lot more carbon fiber visible than the V-Carb or the Red Bull, but I think that's because of the green. And I do really like the green, the way it shines in the sunlight in Bahrain. It looks amazing. Now the final one, the Ferrari. Now, I'm just kidding. The Ferrari belongs at the top, in the top spot, in my opinion. The colours, the mixture of the white and the reds, it's noticeable. Now, some people might not like repeating liveries like the Ferrari, the Red Bull, the Aston Martin, the McLaren, the Mercedes, but the point is, it's a brand. The more recognition you get for your brand, the better. So if you paint your car red every single time, everyone knows, hey, that's the Ferrari. And honestly, that car looks so good in that red. I do love it. And this is a new one for me. So none of the cars are in get in the bin. because I don't think any car here is worthy. It's not that bad. The worst looking car, in my opinion, is the pink Alpine livery, which it's still okay. You still know the team and what it is. The biggest thing was when the cars are on track, people wouldn't be able to figure out who's who. And I think the teams have done just enough differences down in the average and bad section that you can identify who they are. The top teams, the ones that I've put in the top, the Ferrari, the V-Carb, the Red Bull and the Aston Martin, you can easily distinguish who they are, because they've done such a good job of weight reduction in other areas that they don't need to worry about the carbon fiber paint job schemes. That's why they have no to very little carbon fiber visible. And then obviously you've got your Williams, your McLaren. They're still noticeable because of the colour choices, the blues, the oranges. They're easy to distinguish. You do have your Haas, which is just black, white and red, which is, if any other teams had those three colours, you wouldn't notice, but because they don't, you do. The Mercedes is very noticeable by that ugly front nose, and the Stake / Kick Sauber team is very noticeable by the bright popping green. So every single car is noticeable, which is why none of them are getting the bin. None of them are just plain canvases. None of them are just carbon fiber with a few stickers on saying Mercedes or Stake. They all have some elements of colour. They all have some uniqueness about them. And honestly, other people's tier lists, I have seen Aravas. I stopped watching Aravas, made my own. Other people's tier lists, I'm not sure are even the same order as mine. So in terms of performance, if I'm going to make a prediction, I think Red Bull are going to be on top all throughout the season again. Because that's how they are. They're Red Bull. Once they're on top, they stay there for a pretty long time. We saw that at the late 2000s, before it became the reignship of Lewis Hamilton, and then they're back. So that's how it is. Now, close in second place, I'm going to put Ferrari. If they can get all their strategies figured out, then they'll be close behind Red Bull. They're not going to be too far. And then third place, I'm actually going to put Aston Martin, because their performance last year was okay, and obviously this year's an increase in the development and whatnot, so I'm going to put Aston Martin there. Fourth place I'm going to give to Mercedes, because I think team morale over at Mercedes isn't quite what it was, and with the fact that Lewis Hamilton has signed for Ferrari for 2025, I think a lot of focus on that team is going to be the fact that Lewis Hamilton isn't staying there next year, and I think that's going to bring the team down as a whole. In fifth, I'm going to put McLaren, I think. McLaren have always done really well in the midfield, and apart from when they were on top, of course. But I think fifth is a good spot for them. Sixth, I would love to see the V-Carb livery in sixth, the V-Carb cars. I don't like the name, I do like the livery. Seventh, I'm going to give to Williams. So that is just like 3 positions behind Mercedes, but given the fact that they pretty much have everything the same, I think, like the same, they're effectively the same team at this point because Mercedes runs them. I think 7th is a good spot for them. 8th, we're going to put Haas in 8th, I think. Haas, they're not back markers anymore. They're low midfield. They've been for the last few years. And now it's between Sauber and, well, Alpine. I'm going to put Alpine in 9th and then Sauber in 10th. That's my predictions on the Constructors' Championship. I'm probably going to forget that within a few weeks, but we can always come back to this. So, Hamilton moving to Ferrari, do I think it's a good idea? Yes. Mercedes haven't been performing for the last few years, and Ferrari, even though their strategies have been unique, have still come close to Red Bull. Chances of Lewis Hamilton's next championships will not be with Mercedes. Lewis likes teams that are in the fight but not directly at the front, hence why he moved from McLaren to Mercedes, and then it makes sense for him to go from Mercedes to Ferrari. I think it makes sense. I mean, branding wise, he'll be taking Monster Energy with him to Ferrari, and he's going to be taking all his Lewis Hamilton fans to Ferrari, and I think Lewis Hamilton alongside Charles Leclerc could make a really, really great team. They can learn so much off each other, more than what Russell is with Hamilton, I think. Currently, I think Russell is learning so much more from Lewis than the other way around, because Lewis has so much experience, and I know that it's going to cause a whole bunch of movements. I'm not going to place any bets on that, but I think Hamilton's move to Ferrari makes sense. And that's it. Let me know your thoughts on anything. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Where would you place these? In the comments below. Don't forget to check the link in the description to get 10% off at Dubby.gg, the first ever actual sponsor for the channel, not just a partnership. I am also partnered with Kids.ai, so there is a link down there as well for them. But I don't get, you don't get any deals with them. It's more of a, it's just like a referral program more than anything. But check them out. If you don't like it, that's fine. I will be testing the Dubby products later on, either this week, next week, or the week after. Because again, I don't like pushing things I don't like, so I need to test them. But that is going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for coming out and watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!